All right, we're on the air.
All right.
I should say those. Mr. Ned. All right.
I don't have a halo this week. Remember that?
Don't set me up like that. No, you don't. Although that's interesting on the side, we can see the news.
What do you see on there?
Look at the screen.
MSNBC.
Look at the screen.
That's weird. Is
Let's
that,
just pull up a crypto market.
is that the computer?
Everything S&P.
It was up to there. There we go. All right, I'll call the meeting to order of the Parents Commission of the Village of Homewood on January 16, 2025 at 6:05 p.m. Roll call, please.
Member Banks? Here. Member Shafi?
Here,
Member Preston?
Here,
Member Quirk? Member Cluck?
Here.
Chairman Reinhardt?
Here, thank you. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Commissioner Takia Kidd for her service. She's, as you probably know, she's resigned from the commission, but we appreciate the service and the work that she did. Next order is the minutes, the approval of the minutes from November 13th, 2024 meeting of the Parents Commission. Does anybody have any additions, corrections, anything else, Commissioner Clark? No. Right, Commissioner Banks?
Abstain.
Okay, that's right. Commissioner Sheffield?
none.
All right, I have some. One of the things I find on page 4 is that it says it's case 2443, the signage is at some sweets, and then the rest of it goes on to talk about Dave's Hot Chicken. Oops, so that needs to be changed from Essence Sweets to Dave's Hot Chicken, because that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of chuckled when I saw that.
Oh my gosh, all right. All right.
The next thing I found is a typo. Do we care about typos? I don't care. Typos.
Typo.
It's on page 5.
Okay.
It says Chairman Remick stated it did not pass, and the sings, I think it means signs.
Science.
Yeah, that's a small thing.
No, that's a good catch.
This is a bigger thing though, on the next page, on page 7. It says, Chair Remick asked if signage would be approved by staff or if it would go in front of the Appearance Commission for approval. I didn't ask that. I already know the answer to that. What I really stated was that should some of the signage that right now is approved by staff instead should we be more involved with the decision making on some of those items,
Yeah,
which is a big difference.
right. Should you be more involved there?
Yeah. And then finally, on page 8, it's near just below the bottom where it says staff liaison Nasaros stated regulating directional signage can be looked into and any gateway signage will come before the commission. I think it's important to add that member Cluck had stated that that's more of a fire department and safety issue.
Okay.
Because I think that is, you're correct on that.
Okay.
That's
I'm
important.
actually reading through this interior directional signs. Really out of the condition.
Yeah, but I think it's important that because that was a good point, Rob. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I have with that.
Thank you.
All right, so there's 3 of us that can vote. It's not a quorum, but I guess it doesn't matter on the minutes, does it? Because two
Who else was
members
on?
were,
Oh,
2 members were not here.
Preston wasn't here either.
Yeah,
Okay.
so do we have to wait?
We need 4 votes to pass.
Did we hear about from Brian?
But thought Brian was coming. I did not hear he wasn't coming, so he may be here a little later.
Okay, then we have to table this till the next meeting unless Brian comes here later on and then. we go back to it.
I could move down to that, vote here and then move down there.
This is Chicago.
And Cook County.
Where?
Yeah. Need to shave your head. I'd say that to Brian if he were here.
Well, if he gets here, then we'll vote. We'll do a vote.
All right, and there's nobody on there or here for public comments. So we'll get on to regular business, the public workshop for the village sign code update.
Yes. So hopefully you've all had an opportunity to review your packets. There's a lot of information in there. And I want to, start by saying that that is a draft that, we're working on this rewriting the entire code. And what was in the packet is draft, it's very draft. There aren't definitions yet, but for tonight, I wanted to get, Noah is going to do a thorough presentation on everything. He is out sick today, unfortunately, but I think that for this meeting, I'd like to just give you a run through, just a summary of what we're looking at. And then take any questions or concerns, because we will be meeting with the village attorney. We met with the village attorney last week, who said, for him, the number one thing is definitions. So we need to see the definitions. After we see the definitions, then we'll have a better idea of what we're regulating. But if you have anything that you saw in the code, anything that you want to be included that wasn't, or that you need clarification on, now would be the time to ask those questions and get that clarification so we can bring it back to you at the next meeting.
One of the things, I don't know, and this would affect the beginning of the meeting, is I had asked Noah if he would actually have a map of the zoning districts for available, because when he was talking to me about zoning districts,
Okay.
like, okay, I can change.
A map of the zoning districts would be
Yeah.
good.
And
Yes.
that's probably in the description go along with each of those. B1, B2, B3,
Okay.
what that entails.
So we can send that to you with the descriptions before the. So I will, let me just quickly summarize the new code. So, I hope that it was clear in our report that we are writing a completely new code. Our current sign code is section 33 of the Village Code of Ordinances. The last major amendment was in 1997. The code actually predates our new zoning code by 28 years. So with our new code, we want to integrate it into the zoning code. The zoning code is chapter 44 of the Code of Ordinances. This is chapter 33. We want to make this a section, an actual chapter in the zoning code, which will give it a little more authority. It belongs in the zoning code. You could do it either way, but this way our processes will be consistent with our zoning processes and in our zoning code. And communities do it both ways, but this gives it also makes it easier to enforce because we're enforcing it through the zoning code. So then we will also do changes to the format. If you notice, the new code will be organized by sign type. The old code was very difficult, I found, to read through and to understand the organization. So we're going to organize it by sign type, and then also replace the long text with tables that are consistent with the zoning code. So you'll see the sign type and then which district it's permitted in, because we are going to organize it by zoning district, which makes it very important to have that zoning map and those district descriptions. I will get that to you. And then we're also going to add graphics, because graphics are very important in our new zoning code. If you've taken a look at it, it has graphics in it. We are working with the same consultant to design the graphics for the signs, which to me makes it a lot clearer. You can read. And then, like I said, the definitions will be revised at a later date. The main thing we're trying to do is organize it better, number one, and number two, update it so that it has modern language in it, so that we're not missing anything. Some of the new sign regulations we'll be looking at. We're going to be designing it by district. So right now, it's in the sign code. It's kind of an afterthought, but the B1 district has separate regulations. It was amended a few years ago so that the B1 district has smaller signs, but it's kind of an add-on. You'll look at the business signs and then you'll see, except in the B1 district where it's, so we're going to do that by district to where it makes more sense. Halsted Street has a very different character than downtown Homewood, and also than Kedzie and 183rd. And those are all separate zoning districts, which have just been revised. We're going to look at new sign types. As you know, the electronic changing message boards have come up a lot. They are not in our code right now. The recommended code for that will be consistent with the conditions we've put on the existing signs as we've approved them individually. And then canopy signs will be new. Right now, awning and canopy signs are classified together. A canopy is more like a permanent structure like you see on Stony Point, whereas an awning can be, is usually made out of material and is very different, looks very different. Painted wall signs, which are not regulated, and then new maintenance standards, so we can increase code enforcement, which I think is a big issue. And then new procedures are sign variants. We currently don't have standards for the variants. Regular zoning variances have standards, so we've written in standards for that. We also want to look at landmarking historic signs so that those signs have different categories and different review and are allowed to remain if they meet the certain criteria. Right now, we do that for historic buildings. The Gottschalk House is a historic building. It's separate in the municipal code, and it's been established as a landmark. We want to be able to establish signs as landmarks too. The comprehensive sign program, which we have one of those. I don't know if I don't even remember which plaza it is, but one of the plazas on Halsted Street has a comprehensive sign plan. And it's the only time we've done it. Every time a sign goes, and I don't even remember which one it is. I think I accidentally found it, but this would be for all it'd be like a PUD for signs. And other communities do it where you have a multi-use building, and this way you can make sure that the signs are consistent. So there's placement for them, there's a style for them, and anytime someone comes in for a sign permit, they have to comply with that plan. We're also looking at sign abandonment and sign amortization. So these are things that we're going to need buy-in, I think, politically for, because amortization, I just gave you a few examples of our non-conforming pole signs. Pole signs have long not been permitted in the B1 district, but we have never enforced that. And so we have a lot of them, whether we want to, the standard that we put in the code is for 10 years. So 10 years after the code, they would all have to be changed to comply. And that means that even an existing business would have to change their sign. So that's a question I think that we're probably going to want some direction from the village board on, and we're going to want to discuss in more detail with you.
Because there's quite a few,
There's a lot.
and some of them don't look bad,
Exactly.
so.
Well, like Two's Funeral Home, if you look at that, that's not conforming. There are a lot of, especially on Dixie, non-conforming signs, and a lot in Southgate, the big sign on Pearson's, that doesn't look bad. So that's something that we have to figure out if we want to do and how we want to approach that, because it's also very costly for a business.
That would fall under potential financial hardship.
Yes.
So I'm just thinking of Marco's there, though, which is, what's it, it's the vet clinic right now, taking that down is not really cheap.
No. And replacing it.
And replacing
Mhm. The other section that we would add would be murals of public art, because we don't have a section for that at this time. So our next steps will be a complete presentation of the draft code to you at the next meeting, February 7th. We will then have a public hearing with the Planning and Zoning Commission, because this is technically a change to the zoning code. It has to go to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And then the final approval would be by the Village Board of Trustees. So. What?
I'll get the dates.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and this is tentative, we may,
because Thursday is February 6th.
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's the wrong date then.
Hmm.
That was I think I took that out of the memo.
It's on the calendar, it's all there, that's.
I think I took that straight out of our.
But yeah.
Yep, okay, it's the 6th. I'll change that.
Well, these are all tentative dates, though.
Yeah, they're all tentative, but should at least be accurate, I think.
So, because Noah's absent, the next meeting is where this will get more detailed.
Yes. Okay. Questions, comments?
Well, I mean, it's so, I mean, I have a lot of notes and I have a lot.
Oh, good. That's great.
Okay, all right, so, but I follow tradition and start with the commissioners first. You
No
have
question
anything
right
in-
now, it's a lot to absorb in.
There's a
one-
lot to take in.
Actually, one setting, the nicest thing we've had in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's a lot of information, which I think we need time to process and to think about, so. Which is why we're giving you the whole, a month, so.
But I think this is gonna be fantastic when we have to have something presented to us. And now we know it's like if someone's going for a monument sign or a variance on that, that's what we focus on.
Yes.
That's the things that we have to concentrate on, and if it gets astray of something that's not allowed on, pole signs, well, that's not what this is about. So let's keep on track. So I think that's great.
Okay, Commissioner Banks.
Well, I concur. I'm looking forward to having everything established. So.
Commissioner Shaki.
Lots of stuff. I'll wait. The 28th is actually a Friday also, I believe. For the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Is what?
That's Friday, the 28th.
Gosh, I'm gonna pass it on. Basic. Okay, so then, the 27th,
Yes,
you're off by one on all of them, okay.
but consistency is important.
I think you picked Friday, maybe,
And the village board meetings, right, Bill?
is that the right date for
Yes.
that one?
Well, it's the right day and the date corresponds to the day.
Good,
I find it a little hard to believe that we're gonna get through this in one meeting too.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's an incredible amount of material.
yeah, and I think that, like I said, this is, and we will probably have more meetings than what we scheduled here.
Okay, Commissioner Shaki, you gonna wait then?
Yes, sir.
All right, Commissioner Preston.
I'm gonna wait also, it's a lot of information to digest, so.
Okay.
You want me to wait or you want me to just give you?
No, I,
All right.
whatever you have.
One of the first things I mentioned this to Noah is page 28 and 29 is identical to pages 30 and 31, it seems. I think just a mistake in the copy.
28 and 29.
In the pack that I got, yeah, is identical to 30 and 31. It's about permitted signs by zoning district and wall signs and single signs on multiple frontages. And then it's says exactly the same thing on 30 and 31, so just a simple mistake, but
Oh, yeah,
just
you're
for
right.
future
Yeah.
printing purposes.
Thank you.
Well, and I mentioned the need to see zoning districts. I'm not sure what a projection sign is, and as I was reading through the presentation, some of the definitions, one of the things I was gonna bring up is definitions, which you guys are aware of. But maybe within the sections stating what it is to start with. So it's a little clearer, so we aren't flipping pages.
Stating, yes.
That would certainly help.
So restating the definition.
Yeah, I think so. So we're not flipping pages in our in the future. Oh gosh. On page 34. Oh, it seems this is ambiguous to me. It says, electronic displays, no monument ground signs / ground signs shall include electronic changeable message ECM boards. Ground signs with electronic displays shall follow the provisions. So it's as if it's saying, we're not gonna have, to me, the ECM boards, and then we're gonna have the ECM boards. So it's kind of a
Which 25th is that?
page 34. Under monument ground signs, number 9. And then we have a whole section following that all about all the regulations for the ground signs and ECMs.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah, but the distinction is monument ground signs and then just ground signs.
it's,
I don't know if that's on purpose or not.
yeah, that's confusing.
Yes.
You're saying yes to who?
That is very confusing. Yeah, I think that needs to be reworded.
Lord knows you guys put a lot of work in it. There's gonna be stuff.
Yeah.
No, we all know how it goes.
No, but it's, I mean. It's a lot to review and it's gonna be a lot of
gosh.
attached to and make sure that it's.
Yeah.
it's correct.
And then, when you're done. And then on page 35, under electronic changing messages, the 4.3. We've talked and talked and talked about this. Image display duration shall not
Oh,
exceed,
a lot.
shall not exceed 8 seconds. But some are, image display, so it won't stay on for more than 8 seconds.
No, that's not right.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, okay,
It shouldn't be exceed, right? I'll have to look at the way we worded it
Yeah.
before,
okay,
because we want it to not be less than.
right.
I'll look at the way we wrote the standard before.
Okay. Page 37, 5D10. No pylon sign shall include electronic changeable messaging, ECM boards. Pylon signs, those are,
Those are pole signs.
yeah, oh, okay.
So I think that
Have we ever talked about that? I don't recall.
we have pylon signs in the, no, we have not talked about that, and that's probably a good topic for discussion.
Yeah,
Because we do have some on Halsted Street that are pylon, if you look at the Room Place. There's a few of them on Halsted Street that are electronic and are pylon pole signs.
yeah, I think that's certainly something we need to discuss.
That's a good topic to discuss and research.
All right, eight, which are we done? Forty-one. 8B. B, 8B. Material awning signs may not be painted directly onto surface material of awnings. Where's that?
I think it's that so an awning sign is usually like letters on the front of the sign, they can't just paint it on,
In other words, you can't just hand paint something.
Right.
Oh, okay,
can't just hand paint them on,
all right.
Need to professionally be.
so maybe we should clarify that.
What page? Linda found something on page 40.
Number 1.
Limited uses gas station canopy signs may only be installed on canopy structures accessory to vehicle related uses. Gas station canopy signs, they
I
only
have a
use
question about that too, are there other types of,
gas station canopy signs.
And I'm a little confused on what the description of the canopy, is that like the big coverage over where the pumps are at gas stations?
yeah, that's the big.
Okay,
canopy.
that's what I kind of assumed, but it's not
Yeah.
exactly spelled out even in the
Yeah, that
there's
is.
a little bit of
confusing.
definitions in the latter part of the whole packet. It's like it's.
So that's got to be clearer.
Cause I actually, when I was reading it, I Google mapped and pulled up like Speedway and Shell kitty corner from it, and okay, well, that's canopy, they don't have signs out, their signage on it, but they have their corporate colors.
Yeah, and
So-
some of them, like the Shell station has signs on it, I think Speedway does too, they've got a sign on the canopy.
Okay, it might be just the sides I was seeing it from.
Oh, this may just be for next time's discussion, but on page 43, under window signs, so 10B. We're talking about window signs. It seems to me, I don't know if this is a village itself or new ordinance that should happen or with us, but we've talked about this before, the frosted windows where you can't see anything except a circle. Well, if we're writing something new And we've talked about that so many times in various meetings. How,
How do we define
how do you define that? I know it's not a sign yet. Certainly from the police department perspective, if God forbid something happens in places, they can't see.
Right.
So, but does that fall under us or does? And I know it's not a sign,
Well,
but it is window cover.
yeah, now the copper still is something that we went back and forth on trying to get them to take that off.
So future. Like businesses, I guess.
I can say, just like in reference to what LaGrange is doing, they experienced the same thing where they needed the police to be able to look into structures. So the signage was any sort of covering, so even if it's just frosted material, that counted as the signage. And as that percentage that's allowed, so that's, in my experience,
That's great.
how we handled it was whatever covering anything in addition to the clear glass was counted as.
That's excellent. So something for us to think about. That's fantastic.
Okay.
I've been thinking, how do you cover that? That's
Yeah, that's. how
it's
they
good to
covered
have the
it. They
experience here.
counted.
That's great. Oh. All right, page 45. B2 pennants and freestanding fabric signs or something we really haven't talked much about. But I'm looking at C, pendants, may be easy for me to say, may be installed for no more than 14 consecutive days. Is a pennant one of those things you stick in the ground, it's got a little sail on it?
Yeah, you see them when new places open, especially on Homestead Street.
Okay, all right, 14 days, that's reasonable, but then if you go down to 3B, pennants may be installed for no more than 30 consecutive days. That word consecutive, I know what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna put it up there for 30 days, take it down. Wait a day, put it back up, because that starts the next 30 consecutive days. I know,
So this actually should, under three, should say temporary window signs and not pennants. But, no, C covers that.
Does?
Temporary window signs not issued more than once for 90 days.
Oh, I missed that, okay,
So
good,
that, yeah, that's a
Okay.
good concern.
good. Thinking of a circle, never mind, I'll say it.
And it's also, it says for not more than. Not once, shall not issued more than once per 90 days as
Okay.
well.
Good.
Yeah, so that.
Oh, I was noting on page 48, number 5, I'm so glad that's in here, that it says the colors and materials of the sign base and other sign related fixtures shall be consistent with the architecture of the structure. I'm glad that's specifically defined like that, because that's again, something that we've gone over and back and forth about. Page 49. B4C, minor damage repair. If damage sustained to the sign does not exceed 50% of the construction cost of a comparable sign, or damage occurs less than 50% of the sign area, the sign shall be repaired within 180 days of the date on which the damage occurred. Should that say providing the repair does not constitute an alteration?
Yeah. And I think, I talked about this, and I wanna combine the major damage repair and major damage cost, because I think that we need to do it one way or the other. It's either gotta be 50% repair or cost, because those two are not gonna be consistent.
And 6 months. I guess that's reasonable. People are gonna have hardships. Okay. Oh, and on page 50, yeah, like you had mentioned, I'm so glad there's a sign of abandonment in the amortization.
Okay, you're supporting that.
I'm supporting that. And then it's in there, it says 100, after 180 days, abandoned signs may be removed. May be indicates it doesn't have to be, but it could be. Do we need to make that tighter?
May be removed by the village,
Will be,
yeah, we might be right about that.
may be removed by the village at cost of the business or something?
Or maybe can be, or will be.
Whatever the legal
Maybe
mumbo
they're being
jumbo.
subjective, because they can hire a third party to come out,
What
or
about,
maybe us, or it should say something like, you know, maybe removed by the village or a reasonable contractor or something.
Within that time
Right,
period.
yes.
or abandoned structures we removed at the village's discretion?
Discretion.
Oh, that's, yeah.
So that leaves it up to them.
The village's discretion means the date or time or whether or not they actually will.
True.
So
you
it
want
could
to- Yeah,
still leave it
open.
open, and I'm not comfortable leaving that open.
So by removed by the village or,
Will be removed by the village or by somebody they place hires or something.
Yes.
However they leave. it.
Mhm.
I think the owner's expense is important too.
Yeah,
yes. Mhm.
thank you. $55. A4. I gotta read through this because I don't remember what I wrote. I wrote on here aesthetics as well. Action by the Appearance Commission. Any sign permit application advanced as an appearance review shall be reviewed by the Appearance Commission. The Appearance Commission shall review application materials and any oral or written comments received at the public meeting. The Appearance Commission shall then approve with conditions or deny the application in accordance with procedures, blah, blah, blah. The decision shall be forwarded to. Why did I write aesthetics as well in there? Maybe because maybe because at that point I hadn't found anything that's talked about. We have to consider aesthetics of the area, but I think, oh, okay. I think it is in here. I'm looking at page 56, action by the Appearance Commission. Number 4, the Appearance Commission shall review the application, blah, 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 and any meeting and responses the applicant will define. Commission that shall then approve now. Number 7, appearance review exemption signs which are compliant with sign standards within an approved comprehensive sign program shall be approved or denied. So for number 4, I have aesthetics and maintenance of the property is the appearance.
And that's number 4 under.
Page 56, number 4 in the middle of the page. That's what I wrote. It was at the end. I was probably tired.
As defined in 44.
But yeah, do we have anything in here about how we have to also consider the aesthetics of the property with everything around it as being in our definition of our requirements?
Yeah, no, I will,
I don't
look into that.
I don't recall seeing that. I probably would have underlined it or highlighted it if I did. Cause I know I was looking for that in all this reading.
Okay. Aesthetics of,
And maybe it is in there and I missed it, but
living shut.
and then page 58. 6 standards of sign variance are outlined well, but I think something that is missing is will it negatively impact nearby or adjoining businesses?
Okay. That's, yeah.
I don't see that in there, and we do need to look at that.
Okay.
Will it negatively impact nearby or adjoining businesses? Page 59. A at the top, which defines the purpose of the appearance review. Near the bottom, it says the appearance review procedure, near the bottom of part 1. Says the appearance review procedure serves as the mechanism by which the Appearance Commission is to fulfill stated power and duty to consult with other municipal and governmental bodies on matters affecting the appearance of the village. Who would we consult with? That's, I don't remember hearing that.
No, I don't. Okay, I'll take that.
I mean, that's fine, I just don't know who that would be.
I don't.
Zoning commission. And then number two, with applicability, part D, I'm glad murals and other public art installations are in there.
Mhm.
That was wonderful to see.
Yeah, that's good, so that should be.
Page 60, number 5, near the bottom. I didn't know we can do this. At the bottom of number 5, it says the appearance commission may also defer an appearance review decision to the board. I didn't know we could defer. 10, 15 years on this commission. I don't remember that.
I don't think
Happening.
you can currently. I think that would be a new.
Okay, so that would be new. Okay.
I don't know if you want to even.
Just hadn't seen that. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I think that would be new.
Number 7, planning and zoning commission. Should any improvement subject to an appearance review require a public hearing before the planning and zoning commission? The director of economic development, shouldn't that be capitalized, director of economic development, because it's a title, shall schedule the planning and zoning commission hearing to occur prior to the appearance commission meeting. I'm glad that's in there. That helps us. I guess that's just a comment that something I'm glad to see. Page 61 at the top, it says murals and art installations. What does murals are an accessory use mean?
That's gonna be in the definition, so it's something that we have to.
Okay. All right,
Murals are an accessory use.
yeah.
Yeah, that,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Okay, well, next meeting.
I think that they'll be, my guess and my thought is that that refers to the zoning code. There's a section for accessory uses. And murals will be listed in that section. So some of the code will refer back to sections and other parts of the zoning code.
Okay.
But we can clarify that.
Oh, and then on the same page, page 61, A1. Commercial messaging. I put a big smiley face by that one. Oh, yeah. Commercial messaging painted on a building facade shall constitute a painted sign, be subject to the requirements for painted signs. I'm glad, I like that. Thank you. I thank Noah for that too, I think.
I will.
All right, then, let's see, at the bottom of that page, very, very bottom. It says action by the appearance commission. The appearance commission shall review the application and any oral and written comments received at a public meeting and determine the level of compliance with zoning requirements. Somebody help me understand that. That's what we've always done, right? That's just putting it in
I think it's.
clearer words, clearer language.
I think so. Let's see if that's necessary.
Standards for murals. And standards for murals and art installations. Okay, all right. I'm almost done. Wake up.
No, that's good.
On page 62, number 3, I circled it and put in areas. Is the proposed artwork located and designated in alignment with the design guidelines of the village appearance plan? Okay, I've never got that. Forget that. Conditions, D, the appearance commission may recommend and the village board may impose conditions or restrictions on the approval of the proposed artwork. Under no circumstances shall any condition impose a content-based restriction. Does that mean we can't say what's in there? Okay,
That is the First Amendment.
First Amendment, yeah,
All documents have to be content neutral.
right, understood. And then I know there's definitions here, but it's gonna be one of the I already asked, what is a projection sign? But you help me understand that. I think that's all I found on my second read through. So, yeah.
Are there any definitions on that list that you think were left out or need to be?
You know what? I kind of stopped at that point because I had 3 cups of coffee and I started to shake. No, I'm kidding. I had to stay awake.
Is that why you can't read some of your notes?
Yeah, you. I honestly didn't read through these definitions. Other than writing projection sign question mark.
People send us out to you.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Anyone else have questions? Comments, anything that you really don't like or really want to see that wasn't in there? Things that are completely unclear?
Great job.
Yeah, that was interesting. Well, thank you. If you, we're gonna have another meeting, so bring it up again. Everybody will have a chance to thoroughly read through it again.
We will get out to you.
A new station
alert.
Oh,
Hoping that we're gonna clean this up, like I said. it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
a draft
Not you,
here.
it.
We'll clean this up, we will get you the definitions, which I think are key to understanding it. And then we'll be back here on February 6th. And so far, that's all we have on the agenda. I don't know if there's anything else or not.
Okay, do you want us to email you things we want included ahead of that meeting? And then we
Yes,
can
that
talk
would be
about
great.
it, the additions?
Yeah, and anything that you, I mean, because it is a public process, anything that you send me, we'll send to everyone.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Okay. All right,
Just to make sure we're all getting the same information.
all right, well then, we'll move on. Is there any old business? Anybody have any new business they want to talk about?
Has anyone noticed that building that we had discussion about that was white, where we had the murals painted on the colors?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Chicken, Dave's Hot Chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Okay,
I saw that and contacted Angela and asked her to take a look at that, see if it was still in compliance. I think it must have been.
was I wrong?
About,
Garish, ugly?
I don't find it originally, but
Oh, okay, I was wrong.
it's about both sides.
Mm.
People are definitely noticing it.
Yeah, which is what they want.
That's what, yeah.
The biggest question that we've gotten is, why is the one part of it not painted white? And that's just because that other business, and it does look terrible, so I don't know what we can do about that.
And what happens when that business moves out?
I'll see you there with the white.
The
paint.
chicken business. huh?
It's gonna be-
Yeah.
No, hopefully get a new tenant.
People keep thinking it like it's gonna be like an art gallery or.
Yeah, I can see that. I hadn't thought about that.
There's an opportunity for you.
Both. Yeah. Yeah, I don't
We
particularly
can go
care
to
for it.
town,
Huh?
art.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's a valid point.
I didn't
It's
care
not
for
my
it.
taste, but that's not our call, unfortunately. But it might be in the next code, sort of, a little bit, maybe, kind of.
Yeah.
Sort
With
of.
little asterisks there, if Jim doesn't like the way it looks,
It'll always be in public notes.
yeah.
All right, that's it then. So I will, do I have a motion to adjourn? Adjourn,
Motion.
seconded,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
I-
All opposed? All right, we're adjourned at
Shirley, there's quarter to.
6-something, 6:49. Hey,
6:49.
it's one of our shorter ones.
Yeah, it's a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but it's worth it, because
It definitely is worth it.
it'll help
It's
improve our community.
Much needed.
Yeah.
The
Thank you,
site
everybody.
is-
Thank you. Well, he's okay.
Oh, no, Oh.
No, not no.
Brian? Oh. Yeah. I don't
He's
know.
always here.
He's Usually here, yeah.
Yeah, Brian, and usually has a lot of comments, Terry, especially on
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
signs.
What did you just say
He's-
about Brian?
I said he usually has a lot of comments. so
Yeah,
it's-
there's a lot of input.
Evil.
There's no one on Zoom either.
Well, I hope Noah gets well soon.
Yeah,